coincidence?
No, the Jamaica Labour Party is very instrumental, meaning that we do things with deliberate intent. So, for example, the reduction that you're now seeing in murders, for example, that is as a result of the planning which was embedded in a document called Plan Secure Jamaica. And in that plan, we worked out how we would capacitate, meaning increase the capacity of our security forces to be able to tackle the real problem, which is the institutionalization of organized violence. We call that gangs, which is a euphemism, but really what it is the amalgamation of intelligence, criminal intent, and connections in pursuit of profit. So people who have a criminal mind, people who have resources, people who have connections, particularly transnational, and people who have access to weapons, they come together and they create this impression that they are marginalized, dispossessed young people who are poor. That's not, there may be persons like that, but they are caught in a structure that produces violence. So they use violence to gain profit. The strategy that we put in place was, one, to increase the capacity of our security forces to be able to deal with this institutionalization of organized violence. And that meant that we had to change what you call the doctrine of the security forces. You had to improve its leadership. You had to then support it with legislation, and then you had to increase its mobility, its communications, its investigative skills, its intelligence gathering and analysis, its forensic capabilities, and we made investments in all of that. So if you look at the national budget, we have invested on average for the last 9 years 3 times as much yearly as the last 8 years prior to 2016. So prior to 2016, the last 8 years, maybe $20 billion was invested in national security. Since this administration, we have invested $87 billion. So you ask, why is it that murder is going down? It's going down because we were disciplined in the management of the economy, and we were disciplined in the execution of a strategic plan to bring down murders. There is another element of the plan, and that is really the social element. How do we fix the education system? How do we improve youth engagement? And how do we deal with families, so that we don't create a fertile ground for more gang members to emerge? And that is why we put in place a commission led by Professor Samsborn to study the social dimension of violence, and that was the National Commission for the Prevention of Violence. They have completed their report. The report is in hand, and we should release that shortly. And that will trigger a certain stream of actions, which could include a ministry specifically to treat with social violence.
Thank you.